I'm Alana Hartman. I'm the Potomac Basin Coordinator for West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection, and I'm based in Romney, West Virginia, which is kind of in the center of the 8-county Potomac Basin of our state. And my responsibility is to watershed groups and non-point source pollution grants and efforts that are going on in this area. And I'm supposed to check in with the groups and see what they need and try to get them funding for their watershed improvement projects. And a big part of my job, because of where I'm located, is working on Chesapeake Bay funded projects. So we get federal funding and we have local partners that provide matching funds or time, and we try to locate good projects and help people meet up and be partners on those things. I'm focusing more on stormwater than I ever did before, and it's a growing load of pollution in terms of non-point source pollution that washes off the land into the rivers. And because forests are being cut down and farms are being converted to housing developments, that's the one sector that's really growing. And during my career, it has always been growing. So there are permits for larger communities like Martinsburg to control the stormwater and to kind of give you guys tools so that if there is a new development or a redevelopment, you can have a say in how the stormwater is managed on that site and thereby reduce the overall load to the stream. You know, on the landscape, when there's pavement or hardened surfaces like rooftops, there's less water infiltrating into the ground in a storm event or a snow melt. So a lot more runoff flows off the land into the storm drains and reaches the creek faster. So you not only have the pollutants that the water picks up along the way, but you have the speed of the hydrograph, like the rising of the creek and then the falling of the creek is much faster, which changes the shape of the creek over time. Anything you guys can do to slow and reduce the amount of runoff from the hardened surfaces will protect downstream channels and all the receiving waters that our streams flow to, which is Opequon Creek, Potomac River, and then Chesapeake Bay. Berkeley County, there's a lot of karst terrain, so people don't often see a stream in their neighborhood. The water is just sinking into the rock and going down into the caverns and passageways. So streams are kind of few and far between, but so if you don't live on a stream bank, you might not realize that that water on your property can have an effect on someone who does need the stream or live alongside the stream. So what's happening is it's all getting concentrated, like in your gutter and then in your driveway and then in your street, and then it goes down the storm drain where you don't see it because it's underground in a pipe, but then that all gets deposited into the side of a creek somewhere or a river. And so any extra nutrients that it has, or like the PAHs that come off of your driveway, there's certain chemicals that really get collected in stormwater and can affect stream life further downstream. And the nutrients, you might not really see the effect of them locally. There might be some algae blooms in the Opequon in the summer where the water slows down and it gets exposed to sunlight, but it doesn't cause dead zones like it does in the Chesapeake Bay. So what happens in the Chesapeake Bay is it all spreads out and it gets really shallow, and then it kind of cooks in the sun and the algae can bloom and die. And it's the dying and decomposing of the algae that robs the water of oxygen.